later.
Yeah, thank you. How is everything, Carol? You good?
Very good. How about
Good.
you?
Good. Great.
I don't know if I met you before, Brianna.
I'm not sure if we have directly either. I've definitely seen you around at the meetings, but I'm usually running around talking to caterers and stuff like that.
There you go. Somebody's got to take care of all that.
Mhm.
And then
Did
Carol,
did something else new just go out on this? The agent description or something like that?
About 30 minutes ago, I sent you a flow chart because in the annotated agenda that we sent you, there was a little note that said this is a good place to put in the flow chart. So you could show it, I could show it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's just a epic amount of emails on this. It's really a challenge to try to figure out what is all the different things that are being sent with all the different attachments.
It'll get easier and we're all here to help. So
It will. Yeah. We could also, just maybe do after this, Carol, like a wrap up with all the different attachments so that it's all in one place. Yeah, it's definitely
Or share a folder maybe with everything. That might be helpful because it's there is a lot of different emails. I think there's like 47 emails that I've gotten on this.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we can definitely, we have the documents open, so it might be easier for you to talk about stuff, and then for maybe Brianna, if you have trouble,
definitely
can step in and share the documents. You don't have to worry about sharing anything.
Maybe I've been left out, but I've only seen 2 or 3 on this. Am I missing something?
Well, so Carol and Sharon are like our main leads on this program, and then all of you are managers. So they've been kind of helping us, really work through all of it. Yeah. So with a brand new program that has so many bits and pieces, it's definitely taken a lot to get here, but we expect that a lot of that groundwork has now been laid, and it should flow a lot smoother now.
Are we ready to start? I can't tell how many people are here.
Brianna, do you think most of the
Tom
people
has
who are
just joined us.
Hi, Basil.
Hello.
Hey, Robin, how are you?
Good, how are you? Oh, it's nice to see
good.
you.
Rihanna, Liz, Eric.
Okay,
and Carol.
We have Phil and Basil and Jennifer and Tom.
I think Joan was going to join for the beginning, but I don't have an update about that.
Okay. Well, luckily we're recording this, so anybody who, misses a part of it or misses the whole thing will be able to share it. So I think we can get started. Carol, if you want to.
Okay. Well, the first order of business is really very important, and that is to welcome everybody to this new venture that we're all going to go on. And the class agent manager training that we're going to be doing today. And we have a lot of different documents that will explain everything, but I'm just going to try to cover some basics of it. And does anybody know if Sharon is here? I'm not able to see him on my screen.
I don't see Sharon here.
Okay.
I'll shoot him a text message and ask how he's feeling if he plans to join us.
Yeah, so our co-leader for this this fun adventure that we're all going to go on is Sharon Brahma. and he will be leading it along with me. And then we also have, of course, Robin and Brianna, who are the brains of the operation.
And Liz too, Liz Maggi.
And Liz. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yep.
And so, but what we want to get started with today is just giving you some basics about the organization and how we're going to move forward. So the first topic is flow of information. We have 10 class agent managers. Each one of the class agent managers is going to also be the class agent for their own class. I am class of 84. So whatever class you are, if you're a manager, you may be supervising a bunch of agents. And I think that you're going to have maybe 4 or 5 agents per manager. Is that about right? Feel free to correct me if I am off track here at any time. And so each of us as managers are going to get a roster of who our agents are with their contact information. And the managers are also going to get a template from the advancement office. And the idea of this, as I understand it, is that we are all going to be helping to promote and really amplify the bandwidth and the broadcast of the messages that the advancement office is going to be putting out. And so if they have an upcoming event, such as 198 McAllister ribbon cutting, then we will get some kind of a template on that. And we will be able to broadcast that out to our agents, who will broadcast it out to their classes. And so it's like a game of telephone played by email, right? If it is a greeting, or if it is a request for some kind of support, all of that is going to come to us in a template. And then we will push it out to our agents, and they will push it out to their classes. So I understand there is a screen share that can be done of the flow chart. So maybe this is a good time for that. This will show us how it's supposed to run. I think Brianna can do that. Is that right? Very good. Brianna, go ahead and put that up when you can. So while she's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and explain the expectations for each role. Okay. That's good. Can we shrink it down? Excellent. Okay. I can see it. I suppose everybody can see it. Very nice. It looks very clear. You can personalize all these messages, right? So I think that's going to be probably one of our important opportunities here, which is to make it somehow personal to the people on our teams and for them to personalize it. And then all of that is going to, at some point, magically go back to the to the advancement office so that they know what we're all doing, right?
Yeah, we're going to give you a list of your class. So we'll have everybody in your class and their contact information. And there will be other columns. So if like you get bounce back emails, or somebody says, I've changed offices, or, you know, maybe somebody says, oh, this is really great, I look forward to seeing you there, whatever, you can just add that, you know, to the spreadsheet and share it with us. And then we'll have a way to put that up into our database. So we'll always be able to keep track of that kind of engaging information. And also, especially important with bounce backs and updated contact information, because of course they won't just be getting things from all of you. They get a lot of things from our office, and the dean's office will have their updated contact information. So that's really helpful.
Okay, very good. Now,
Robin, Oh, I have a quick question. Robin,
Ellie.
will that spreadsheet be like a Google Doc maybe, which I think might be easier so that
Yeah.
we don't have to like keep on sending things in.
Yeah.
It can just be something that's okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I know I say it because, Google Doc looks like an Excel spreadsheet. So somehow in my mind, I always say that. But yeah, I think the Google Doc is going to be easier. So that stuff will all be coming, from Brianna later.
Okay. And you make a very good point. The minimization of the amount of email would be a blessing for us all who are always fighting with a huge amount of email. But so, okay, I'm supposed to tell you about the expectations. Managers are going to be forwarding messages to their agents approximately 5 times a year and requesting some periodic feedback from the agents. Managers may be asked also to report to the foundation board at the meetings. Agents are going to be messaging their graduating class approximately 5 times a year. This is going to be done with a template. However, I see from the screen that was shared, personalization is the name of the game. Following each of these communications, agents are supposed to be using a spreadsheet to be tracking things. I'm not sure exactly how that is supposed to work, so we might need to get some further details on that. And then the advancement office, it says, will periodically request the agent's spreadsheet for data entry purposes. I think Google Docs would be a fantastic solution for this. So perhaps we can put that together so there's not a need to exchange spreadsheets. It's all going to be in one very easy to access place. So we'll let you know about that. Agents may share their duties with another classmate to be referred to as a co-agent, and could sign all the outgoing emails together, separately, whatever they prefer. I guess the request is no more than 2 agents per class. Otherwise, it will be too much to follow everything, is my guess. Okay, so now to manage all the communications, we are all supposed to be given a UC Law email address. I don't know about you, but I guess I really need one more email address because I only have about 5 or 6. So, but it does make sense to do it this way. So I do not have a UC Law email address. Do any of you online already have it?
I'm
Nope.
working on them for all of you right now.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And if you want to talk about why it's necessary, I'm happy to go in with that, to talk about that, but it might be too much detail.
Yeah, I mean, I figure it's necessary because everybody needs to track it and be able to have all the information in one place. And I think this is potentially going to be also a lot of email, so people may not want to clog up their work email or even their personal
Also,
email with it.
one big reason for it is because to avoid you having to copy and paste a large chunk, like block of emails, we're going to work with IT to have just one distribution list, like class of 1984 at UC Law SF, and that way you can just type it in, and if there's corrections to be made, it can be made to that list, and it reduces some of the manual work.
Fantastic. That
Do we-
does sound a heck of a lot easier.
I got a question. Does that mean that we have to check that email account daily or regularly or whatever, or do
No.
we get notice? All right.
No, you wouldn't have to check it daily. I mean, yeah, it would be at your convenience.
I'm going to say 5 times a year, we definitely have to check
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I think another reason too is like it's one of somebody in IT was saying, like with Google, I think it is that many of us have for our personal, you can only send up to 100 at a time. So you're going to be like breaking up your classes, and it's just, we're hoping that this is going to make things a lot easier in the long run. Again,
Good.
it's a new program, so we welcome feedback, but we're really, even though it might seem like a whole nother thing to
The-
log into, which it is.
There's another
should.
reason to do it too, because most of our firms have all sorts of restrictions on
Yeah.
external docs. So if you do it within the firm, within the Hastings account, we can actually access those without have calling our IT department every time to say it's a safe site.
That's smart. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true. Absolutely. Good point. Okay, so we're going to get a spreadsheet. It's going to give us all the basic information about our classmates. And that is what we're supposed to be using to track whatever we gather from the email exchanges, especially undeliverables, wrong address, that sort of thing. That I hope is going to be a Google spreadsheet or something else that is manageable online for all of us to be able to access. Social media is going to be another channel. I don't know what the right language is, but for us to be using and having our class agents use. You may want the class agents to create online groups to promote networking. This mentions LinkedIn and Facebook. I think those are both, I mean, I think all of us probably use LinkedIn. Maybe some of us still use Facebook. I still have it. But I think that there are some suggestions for how to do that. And there are some existing social media groups that are in the agenda outline that we can take a look at to see how those are set up. And I think it might be helpful to have a, quick tip from the support side on how to set this up. Or, if even better, if you would like to set it up for us, if somebody wants to have one, I think this is a great idea. I would subscribe to mine. I don't see 1984 as having a LinkedIn or a Facebook yet, but I think it would be great for me to see that and a nice, easy way to follow what's going on with my class. And if people want to post things to it, I think that would be a good way to generate some connectivity. Okay, so now I am supposed to tell you, we are recruiting still class agents and class managers. It looks like we've got some of the other class managers online, and then we've got a list with a bunch of class agents, but when I look at it, a lot of them are blank. And so we need to recruit people to fill this in. Does anybody who is online have a suggestion right now for somebody who might be good? I thought I would just throw that out there, and the staff can take a suggestion. Anybody have an idea right now? Someone they would recommend?
We could, let's see, we could look, let me see if I can open up that Google Doc. Or Brianna or Liz or Eric, do any of you already have it open? Because I didn't have it previously open, just so we could look at what years.
I do have it open. Also in the chat, I put the agenda for today, and it has like just a little caption. There we go.
Talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So there, I just shared it with everybody. So
Mhm.
everybody should be able to see, hopefully not my email communications, but
No, just that.
the Word document that shows. Yeah. So then looking at this, we do have a lot of gaps. Anyone have an idea for somebody they might recommend?
I don't have a name per se, but wouldn't it make sense to, when you go into these different classes, to find out who the 2 or 3 biggest givers are, or the 2 or 3 or 4 people that are most active in alumni, and use those as the people to choose for each class?
We do find sometimes that the biggest donors can not necessarily always be the people who want to do the engagement stuff. Just gonna be honest.
Right.
But it is worth looking at. I agree. I think it's worth looking
Or
at.
just the people that are most active. I mean,
Yeah. So one of the lists that I had asked for was past reunion people. I know a lot of you I've worked with you on your reunions, and people who have led reunion committees in the past are generally pretty active. And because we're not necessarily doing reunion in the same way, this could to an extent take the place of that. As far as like the manager, when you look at the row for managers, we're hoping that those would all be trustees, although some of the the columns, we just don't have that many trustees in those years. So that is harder. And I will say too that we're going to start off with a soft launch. You can see the yellow columns. So Phil, Carol, and Sharon, we want to start just with your 3 sections so that we can just work out some more kinks because it's so new. And then everybody else will, be brought in. So the good thing, that's why you see a little more names in those columns. And then the other ones we haven't just been focusing on quite as much yet because it's going to roll out in the second group. So I just wanted to put a little bit of clarification in there.
And Phil, I'll just say that's a great idea. And part of what we're going to do as kind of the next step is during the board weekend, we are going to go to the governors and kind of present this idea and see which governors would like to get involved as well, since they are obviously another really engaged group. So hopefully we'll get a handful of them who are interested too.
All right. Having said that, for 75, I'll throw out Pat Cathcart and Rick Seipel as possibilities.
Who's the first one? I know Rick.
Pat Cathcart.
Pat
They're
Cathcart.
both are retired judges.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
And if they worked with me, they might even be happy.
And this is Tom Getty, and I'm sorry, I'm not on video here, but I think dealing with the governors is a great idea. And Robin, how do we go about doing that, or is that something you can initiate?
Yeah, we're going to actually, as Liz was saying, we're actually going to talk to them at the meeting that's coming up. So they meet the same day you all meet in October. So Liz and Sharon are going to go to the governor's meeting and just talk to them about it. And Carol, of course, you're welcome to go too. It would be after your fundraising training, on Saturday. They'll pop over to the governor's meeting and talk about it. So our hope is between now and then we'll be able to fill in some more people. So that will be between our research, your knowledge of your classmates, and then let's see what governors can pop in. I mean, if we're not going to have all trustees as managers, I think it would be nice to keep it as trustees and governors possibly, because, that would be it's a nice opportunity for the boards to work together, which we've been sort of looking for a way to make that happen. And to me, this just feels perfect.
And of course, we're going to be socializing the night before.
Yes.
But it would be worthwhile if you could Robin, prep them to this contingency so that they're not caught by surprise.
Okay, we'll talk. Yeah, me and Eric and Liz and Brianna talk, and decide how we're going to do that with Meredith and Charles and their team, the governor team.
Yeah,
good
and
idea.
I'm sure Meredith and Charles will be all happy with it. They just need to know before the board meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
One other suggestion, if after you go to the Board of Governors, is to go to a list of former Board of Trustees and governors, because they should also be very invested, even if they've rolled off.
That's a great idea. And I'll actually ask for that list to be run too. Great. Thank you.
Okay, so I guess that is the big picture kind of overview. The measure of our success is the increase in giving from that class. So hopefully that will be the result. And the request is for a 2-year commitment as a class agent or a class manager. I think we'll probably have some additional training that will be appropriate as things go along. But the first set of communications, it looks like, are already kind of decided. which is good because they're coming right up. In October, ribbon cutting ceremony for 198 McAllister. Is that what building is that?
198.
That's
new
the newest one, the 14-story.
Okay. Okay, very good. So I was trying to figure out why we're cutting a ribbon for that now, but it seems like it's been open for a while. But at any rate,
That just opened on August 4th.
oh,
The-
okay.
Yeah, the 198 building just opened like 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Okay, very good. Perfect then. I will have to learn more about that, obviously. And the next one is in November for Giving Tuesday. And then December, holidays, March, spring week promotion and registration. May is a post-commencement summer greeting. And, you know, I am thinking that that is all going to be fed to us. That's my understanding, right? We're going to get the templates and then the email lists and all the rest. Okay. I guess there's a bunch of talking points that I could tell you about. However, they seem kind of straightforward to me. Why are we doing this? We need to raise money for the school. There's a $100 million campaign that is going to happen, that is happening. And so what is the goal? $100 million. And they have already raised $40 million. Incredible, really. They are aiming to raise the other 60 by June of 2025. So that is how long this campaign is going to last.
I'm sorry, Kara, I just want to jump in and make sure that so we want to get to 60 million by basically fall of 2025. I mean, I'd love to raise the other 60 by, I just want to, I don't have the document in front of me, but I just want to make sure that the total campaign goal is 100 million. And then we'll have a public launch, and we want to get about to 60% of the total goal when we launch that. So that would be in the fall of 2025.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah,
that
and Carol,
correction.
you're doing a great job. I just wanted to jump in real quickly because if you look through kind of the campaign timeline, there are these different phases. Part of this, while this has kind of an overarching goal of fundraising, I mean, this is not directly necessarily focused on fundraising because a lot of it is engagement. And particularly for the public phase, what will be important is building the engagement now so that in that public phase, we can reach out to a bunch of engaged alums. So this process right now is the ramp up to get that engagement going. And that's really the primary focus. So I know a lot of people that we reached out to expressed concern about the ask. And this is not necessarily directly the ask, right? A lot of this is getting people on board with what we're doing, knowledgeable about what's going on at the school and what these fundraising needs are. So that when it comes time for the ask to be made, it's not like a cold call that is so hard to make.
Yeah, thank you, Charan, and thank you, Carol. And since I'm talking I'm on a little bit of a roll, I just want to say how much I appreciate everybody on this call right now, stepping up and volunteering to take the lead on this new initiative. I think the way that Charan just described it really resonated with me. If you want to speak kind of in a gift officer's language, what you all are doing is leading the effort in cultivating. This is cultivation. It's reconnection, it's activation. I know the foundation board, obviously is primarily focused on fundraising, and this is fundraising in the respect that Charan just mentioned. This is going to help basically broaden and deepen our pool of potential major gift prospects for future asks in support of the campaign and beyond. So again, I just thrilled. I know this is a lot of work. I also want to thank my staff and Brianna especially for taking the lead, and for all of you again for putting your hands up. And I'll be here pitching in and helping out as well. But I'm excited about this, and just wanted to make sure that you all knew how much I appreciated you, stepping in and doing this. So I'll hand it back to you, Carol.
Okay, well, I'm not sure if there's anything else that I really need to do today. I just received shortly before this meeting descriptions of the position as a class agent or as a class manager. So I don't know, did those already go out for everybody?
Those were included in the packet that everyone received yesterday.
Good, okay. So we all have that. Are there any other questions that we need to answer, or the Hastings folks? Any other points that we need to cover?
This is Tom again. I'm wondering out loud, Brianna and Robin, whether we sent the clipboard around at the last meeting and a couple extra emails to get volunteers for agents and managers. Should we do that by email again one more time before the October meeting, or is that overkill? Thoughts?
I think at this point, we're looking for specific years, so a blanket email to everyone wouldn't really make sense. So we've been reaching out to people individually if they're in a year that we need help with.
Okay, so more tailored, in other words. Okay, well, I'm on travel, but when I get back to California, I'll connect with you, Brianna, and see if we can develop a strategy for particularized emails to follow up on those years, and CC Carol and Sharon in it.
Okay. Anything else we need to cover or questions? I really think this is going to be kind of fun. I haven't had an opportunity to reach out to my classmates in this way, and so I'm looking forward to it. And I think that it'll be interesting to see what all of them are up to and what they're doing, and how we can approach them to get them more connected with the school and to get them engaged with each other. Because I do think, people want to do it, but they don't necessarily take the time or have an easy way to do it. And so I think this will be kind of a fun opportunity and something that we're offering that people may really appreciate.
And Carol, this is Tom, and I just want to thank you personally for taking charge on this call, on this effort, and working with your committee members. It's timely. It gets us to this October meeting and the reception before that meeting with governors and directors. We're going to have some directors appearing at that social event. And so one of those directors is the chair of the fundraising committee of the board of directors. It's called the Advancement and Communications Committee. And that is Shashi Deb, and she's intensely interested in the foundation's efforts to further the class agent and class manager program. So I think the timing on this is great, and your leadership on this is great. I just want to thank you.
You're welcome. I'm not sure how I got into this position. I think I accidentally turned off my Zoom at the wrong time or something in another meeting.
It always happens,
I know exactly how. I snuck through that spam filter and got you. But thank you especially for taking over today.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry I wasn't able to join you all at the beginning.
No problem. And I'm happy to help. And so I think, are we okay to wrap it up for today?
I think Joan has a question. I can see Joan's hand up.
Yeah, I actually thought I would just raise my hand. Can we go back to the touch points over the course of the year, just really quickly? What you had said in October when we
October,
the
the touch
celebration.
point is, for the October touch point, it's regarding the ribbon cutting.
And then November was,
November is Giving Tuesday,
yeah, and then,
holiday in December.
okay, good, okay. I wanted to make sure that there was a closer end of year because so many people
Yes.
fully intend to give and then
Right.
put it
Yeah.
in their to-do pile that gets thrown away or forgotten. And then end of year, they go, oh my God. So I didn't want to miss a touch point in December. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Joan, that reminds me of something I wanted to mention also. With each of these emails, although they're going to have a focus and a template that we provide to you, we also have a list of ways to be engaged with UC Law, whether it's like volunteering with students, like mentoring or doing a 6 at 6. We have a list of about 12 different ways that you can get involved, and you can attach that to your email, or you can customize it within the body of your email so that it's personalized and that it feels natural to you.
Do we have that list?
It's in the training packet that we gave. It's called like Support UC Law, but I can put it in the chat right now also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you'll all be able to personalize this as much as you want, so you'll see something will come from us, and we'll kind of, we'll send it to you and say, hey, this is a great opportunity to reach out to your classmates. So you can go ahead as leaders, as the managers, write in some kind of, some things are going to more personally resonate with you than others. But I think having these ways that you can get involved, or you can say, recently, if you want to get involved, I recently hosted a 6 at 6. Let me tell you a little bit whatever. So as I think also the class agents, like as they get on a roll, Brianna and Liz and I were talking about this earlier, as people get on a roll with it, it's going to get like a lot more personalized. It's going to be a lot more. And then who knows, maybe people will just say, hey, I just want to reach out to my class about this. And great. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the calendar. For right now, we're hoping it's helpful that there's a bit of a calendar with prompts and all of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted, I was just going to reiterate what Robin said, that this program really is all of your programs, and how you feel comfortable reaching out to your classmates, what kind of communication you think they would be interested in. So exactly like Robin said, as everyone gets more comfortable, you can feel free to ad lib and go off script, right? If Dean Figman sends an email that you think your class would find particularly interesting, you can of course forward it along to them, so on and so forth. So we're excited to see, this is just the start, and then we're excited to see kind of how things progress.
And this is Tom. Apropos to Joan's timing question, and I think somebody even muttered November, and then it's December and the year is over.
Yeah.
But this is still September, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But it is useful to remind people that the giving opportunities, including those special giving days, that the college operates on a fiscal year and looks to getting in those contributions and donations by the end of the fiscal year. But a lot of people give at the end of the calendar year, December 31st, for tax purposes. And so sometimes people get confused over that question. And so you can always tell them, what's important to the college is within a fiscal year to get a donation. But clearly, many people, for tax purposes, do it by the end of the year.
Yeah, and that's, the fiscal year thing, Tom, I'm glad you brought this up. I think that it's more like you all as leaders, as board members, you understand that we run on a fiscal year. Most people, like, they don't think about it all. And so really, I don't think we need to even talk to people in general, like your classmates, about the fiscal year thing, because they're going to give when they're going to give. And I do agree with you that a lot of them are going to do a calendar year end. So I think having a few of these communications in a row leading up to that calendar end will be helpful. And then, like, around the fiscal year is more around time of, say, spring week and commencement. That's leading up to fiscal year. But again, we won't really talk about fiscal year. We'll just talk about things that are happening that for us behind the scenes happen to be happening around the end of the fiscal year. So if we see like another bump in donations, that's always great as
Right.
well. So
Yeah, I understand and I agree. We just don't want it to be a mystery to the donor, and the donor may not have the same considerations about the calendar year, fiscal year issue.
This is Phil. One thought that I had was, obviously we're doing this by email in our classes. Some of the historic classes were 500, but I take it when we have reunions, are a lot of these classes coming up for reunion in the next few years? And are we going to do something extra for the reunions?
I mean, I think that's spring week, right?
I can talk a little, yeah, exactly. So basically we've kind of taken, not taken away reunions, but we've expanded, actually. It's gotten bigger. We expanded so that every year there's going to be a spring week. It's in April. March, I think it's April, right? And so everybody is invited back to the campus, although there are special reunion year celebrations at a jazz. This year it was a jazz reunion brunch. I think we might do that again. I think we've done it for 2 or 3 years and it's been a huge success. If anybody hasn't been, it's super fun. So I agree, you know, Phil, some of the classes who are celebrating a milestone, 10, 25, 50, whatever. I forget the milestones. Instead of doing every 5-year milestones, I think they've cut it back a little bit. So as we, get closer to that, there's gonna be more information coming about Spring Week and how we can customize.
Yeah, because that the email's great, but if you have that personal touch and interact with people,
100%.
Right.
100%. It's all about the personal touch. And, Phil, you ran the UC Hastings Challenge, for so long and all the teams and how to put their personal touches on. That's why we thought you'd be such a great leader as well. So yeah, so Spring Week, that's going to definitely be a push because we want to bring people back to campus. We want them to still feel like we're celebrating reunions, although we're not doing like the reunion dinner like we used to do. Honestly, I think the brunch is a lot more fun. It's really great. So yeah, I agree. That's a perfect moment for personalization. Yeah. Thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments or thoughts, or does anyone have anything else they want to add? All right. Thank you for your participation, everybody. I think it's going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to connecting, and I hope you are too. So we will go ahead and get started with our October efforts and keep people posted and see how it goes. And it is a brand new program, so I think we're going to have the opportunity to work out a lot of details as we're going forward. But I'm very much looking forward to seeing how it goes, and I hope you are too. And with that, I think we can sign off for the day.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Have a
you.
great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.